for, well, she's had her Protect Children's Innocence Act for I don't even know how long. It's been a few years, and she claims to be all about the children. Many of them do, I know that. People have ridiculed this over the years. You know, it's all about the children, whatever, and then, you know. So this is about, what is it, gender affirming care. So after, well, she invokes God into this. God does make mistakes. Every child is perfect, blah, 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 blah. Yet, we have birth defects. I guess those aren't mistakes either. We have cancer. I guess that's not a mistake either. You know, miscarriages, whatever. The list fucking goes on. Nothing is a mistake. Only gender affirming care is. You know, we have people who are uncomfortable and I don't even know what gender affirming care is actually. But that's what I'm going to find out. Okay, so I'm going to finally look this up. Okay. Gender affirming care on minors. So, go to Google. What am I showing here? Okay, yeah, so the whole screen's there. I just checked the XSplit. Wow. How gender affirming care for kids works in Canada. So it is going on then. So Marjorie isn't just delusional on this one. Get the fuck out of here. Transgender youth and their healthcare providers say the field is widely misunderstood. Now, youth, I guess they're talking about young kids. Now, what I will say about this is, I think that might be too young. That's the only real opinion I have on this. I mean, my personal policy in life is I don't give a fuck what other people are doing, just as long as they stay the fuck out of my way. And as long as they're not hurting anyone. Now, if these kids, well, the problem is that it's the same thing, like, they're young. They don't know what they're doing. But, I don't know what's going on exactly here yet, so I'm going to continue. It says she's watched struggling young people heal, grow, and ultimately thrive because of gender affirming healthcare. Okay. How? Why? It genuinely is profound. What is it? Okay, am I looking up the wrong thing here? What is? Okay, I'll read this. Gender affirming care for minors is a spectrum of social, psychological, and medical help support helping kids and teens live authentically in their gender identity, ranging from using preferred names, pronouns. Well, the way I'm seeing pronouns is, I mean, like, some people, they, them. So instead of calling them you, they like, yeah, I don't get that. I don't understand whatever happened to the male/female thing. I don't know. Well, if somebody expects me to refer to them as they or them, I'm just gonna walk right past them. I'm not playing the stupid fucking games. They, them is plural. So, what is that? To therapy, puberty blockers, hormones, and sometimes surgery. All aimed at aligning their body and social presentation with who they are. A spectrum of social, psychological, and medical support helping kids and teens live authentically in their gender identity. What does that mean? Okay, so live authentically in their gender identity. That's vague. What does that mean? In their gender identity. What? Okay, now what did idiots say? God doesn't make mistakes. Every child is perfect and minors need protection to safely grow up before they decide to make permanent. So she's talking about transgender surgery. Is that what this is about? Puberty blockers. Okay, so I guess I have to look into what puberty blockers are. A drug used to delay the onset of puberty, typically by blocking the production of estrogen and testosterone. Okay, so why does Marge have a problem with these? Is anyone... I guess the idea is these, like, they're trying to say that this is a democratic ideology or something. They're trying to push this onto other people. But it's only them. I've been around for a while, and I've never heard any Democrat, they're always on about economic things. Well, I don't know, everything Donald does, they're not concerned with they're all about civil rights. They're all about protecting the rights of these transgenders along with drags and everyone else. Nobody's pushing any of the nobody's pushing puberty blockers on anyone. Which is why I had to look the fucking shit up. A drug used to delay the onset of puberty. Okay, so is this dangerous? Or like I say, the only problem I have with this is maybe the kids are too young, but it's not really my business. And unfortunately, well, United States has many economic problems, and she's one carrying on about gender affirming care on minors. So, well, I know that Marjorie is there to fuck everything up. That's why she was voted in. That's why she was elected. And every child is perfect and neat. Okay. Every child is perfect and minors need protection to safely grow up before they decide to make permanent radical... Okay, well, the question is, are these dangerous? Are puberty blockers dangerous? Now, the question would be, why do they want to delay the onset of puberty? I don't know. And I can't... Obviously, Marjorie's never going to ask anyone. She's more interested in invoking God. God doesn't make mistakes, blah, blah, blah. And as I said before, even though there's birth defects, she doesn't care about those. Along with miscarriages, yeah, she doesn't care about those either. Cancer, she doesn't care about. You know, it's all gender affirming care that she cares about. And she's using God to protect her position. So, okay. I guess maybe what I want, yeah. Are considered to be very safe overall. Sex hormones play an important role in increasing bone density during puberty. Puberty blockers can protect bone density. Okay. This is this is progress in the research. Puberty blockers can impact bone density by either maintaining it at the current level. So these puberty blockers doesn't even have anything to do with transgender. This is all about bone density. That's all these things do. Sex hormones play an important role in increasing bone density during puberty. Yeah. So, instead of the typical increased seen with sex hormones, so this doesn't even have anything to do with transgender, like changing your gender. This is all about bone density. So right away, right from the get-go, caveman doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. Okay, next up, okay. What else is there? Puberty blockers, hormones, and sometimes surgery. That's it? Well, what does the therapy involve? Okay, ranging from using preferred... so, gender affirming care therapy. Knock this down. is supportive mental health approach that validates and affirms a person's gender. So there's also the psychological element of this. She doesn't seem to give a fuck that, the children, even young ones, are psychologically just uncomfortable, I guess. She doesn't believe, she's all about protection and safely grow up, but she, even therapy is blasphemous according to her, as she invokes God into this. So, supportive mental health approach that validates and affirms a person's gender identity. Focusing on them. It's the kids who are, she's going on about protecting the children, while it's the children themselves who have this psychological need for changing their gender or whatever they're going through. I mean, I've never talked to any of these kids, so I don't know myself, so I can't really, but she's the Congress bitch that's carrying on about all this shit. So this isn't the Protect Children's Innocence Act. This is a rebellion against children, who are uncomfortable in their own skin or their own gender, really. And coming from a woman who looks like a drag queen, ironically. Okay, that validates and affirms a person's. So she's attacking something that the kids want. That's what's going on here. So I've already answered, well, I know that obviously this is going on, and it's what the kids want. Now, I've said it myself. These kids are too young. They can't really make decisions for themselves. That's the only position I can agree with on about this, or aspect of this, the age. But if they have a psychological problem, they have a psychological problem. She's all about, well, actually, I don't even know what that means. Protecting Children's Innocence Act. What does that mean? What are they guilty of? What's going on there? Protecting their children's innocence. Where's the guilt in this? What is she talking about? I don't understand that part of this. Which will make it a Class C felony to perform gender-affirming care. So they aren't allowed bone density puberty blockers. They aren't allowed therapy. What? Because God? Obviously God has the fucking... Well, it's not even God, it's her. The kids need protection from these psychotic fucking Congress people. Not just Marjorie. But anyway, so a supportive mental health approach that validates and affirms a person's gender identity, focusing on helping them align their life. Well, the thing is the kids are the kids seeking this, or what is she trying to even say here? Is she trying to say the parents are forcing them into this? What? And if I was to be in an interview with Marjorie, she would just accuse me of being funded by some Democratic organization if I asked her a question like that. Because she knows this is still bullshit. And she's only doing this just to fuck with, it's just her way of fucking with the country. With who they are, not trying to change them. Okay, gender-affirming care therapy is a supportive mental health approach that validates and affirms a person's gender identity. Okay, what does affirmation mean? State as a fact. Assert strongly and publicly. So, that validates and states a fact a person's gender identity. So this isn't even about changing the identity, it's just factually addressing a person's gender identity. helping them align their life socially, emotionally, physically with who they are. So wait a minute, so this is saying that this is about helping the kids, with who they actually are. That's all this is. It's not even, and not trying to change them. I think that's the key thing here. Not trying to change them. So she's against this. Social support, potential medical interventions, so, and addresses related mental health. Well, the only part I don't like the pronouns, but that's just me, and I'm not interested. I would if I was a politician, I'd never be bothering with this shit. But I'm not a politician, because I know even going after what I think the country needs would be largely ignored, just like my books were, both of them, and I'd be wasting my time, because nobody would want what I would call economic placement, which means to identify what a person's interests and strengths are in terms of employment, and let them know of any kind of technologies or industries that are outside, instead of making them choose from bullshit listings that nobody wants to do. Whatever's local and whatever's, let them actually know of existing industries and technologies. I mean, I found out about dry ice blasting about 3 years ago, something that I wouldn't have known on the computers, because that's a technology that exists elsewhere. So that's what and if I was to propose that politically, I'd be ignored for some reason. And I'm not even in America or the US. I don't like to call it America anymore. Okay, so potential medical interventions, I've already established that, and addresses related mental health challenges, So she's against all this, which so far doesn't even sound like it has anything to do with changing a person's gender surgically.